Hello friends, it's me, and today, let's watch Do TV high schools even have a dress code? Style theory from the style theorist. Together, let's go. Let's start. Thank you.
Detention! You have violated the school dress code, as have you, and we're not even talking about you yet. But why do so many of our favorite high school themed movies and TV shows fail so badly at showing what kids can actually wear to school without being sent to the principal's office? Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory, the show that's always striving for straight A's.
Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory.
Are in the height of back to school season, and that got me thinking about one of my favorite rage-inducing topics, dress codes. As kids, we grow up watching so many movies and shows that romanticize the high school experience, or whatever the equivalent is in your country. But
in Singapore, it's mostly primary school, secondary school, JC means junior college. After that is university. If you go through another route, is primary school, secondary school, polytechnic, university.
The thing that always got me the most excited? The clothes, baby. TV high schoolers were always wearing the coolest things, and so it made me want to wear them too. Except I couldn't. But not because my parents said no, because my school dress code wouldn't let me. Yeah, turns out that real life high school is a lot less fun and a lot more full of homework than media would have us believe. I mean,
Case in point, those rules and regulations were made, sadly, due to a lot of incidents in the past. We learn from the mistakes in the past and we correct them so that future generations is able to benefit from it.
Where are my perfectly choreographed musical numbers? I trusted you, Ryan Murphy. And worse than ruining my dreams about taking the Glee Club to nationals was realizing just how many rules there were about what I could and could not wear, and just how badly TV and movies got it wrong. Listen, had I tried to wear most of these outfits, I would have had a season pass to the principal's office, but shh, that's a spoiler.
Now, this isn't the first time that we've talked about dress codes on the channel, and about how much they, well,
suck. They suck. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Now, here in the US, about 93% of public schools have some kind of dress code on their books. And historically, these rules tend to target some specific gender and minority groups more than others in a way that's...
Which is unfortunate. In Singapore, in primary schools, secondary schools, and junior college, these three institutions is standardized uniform, school uniforms. Granted, if you go through the primary school, secondary school, and polytechnic route, polytechnic onwards is you can just wear your home clothes.
kind of
problematic.
However, they're unlikely to disappear anytime in the near future.
But if we have to follow the rules of the robe, then it makes sense that the TV shows that influence what we want to wear should have to as well. I'm looking at you, Euphoria. Yeah, don't think that you're getting out of this episode scot-free. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
If you're showing cleavage in the school situations, it's a no-go. It's a huge no-go. You'll be penalized, you'll be punished. It's obscene. You know, it's not healthy environments for the majority of, especially for females. You shouldn't be showing cleavage. Those are rules and regulations for the benefit of everyone in the school. I'm talking about the parents, the teachers, the students. It distracts them. It distracts them from the academic studies.
Yeah, you know that Gen Z Y2K revival? Well, you can thank Euphoria for that. After it premiered in 2017, there was a 1,868% increase in searches for Y2K fashion.
And worse, a 68% increase in searches for low-rise pants. I will never forgive them for that.
Never.
Call it revenge or call it teaching a lesson, but I've gathered the wardrobes from 6 popular high school movies and shows that hit big when it comes to memorable, dare I say, iconic fashion. And we'll be putting them through our very own dress code test.
Here are the rules we'll be grading by. Now I know, in real life, everyone's school dress code is unique to their school, and trying to standardize them is going to be a huge challenge. Which is what I would say if the US Government Accountability Office hadn't done all the hard work for us. What? Like it's hard?
Back Back in 2022, the USGAO released a study where they analyzed the dress codes of over 200 public schools across America. In it, they were able to determine which rules were most common and how they were enforced. Things like shirt and short length, thickness of tank top straps, is the image on your shirt offensive or not?
Yeah, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. Between
Okay, so the thing is I'm personally in favor of standardized school uniforms for that particular school. First of all, we are able to tell which school are you from. Second of all, if there's any school mix here and there, we are able to differentiate you from other schools. Okay, and not only that, as you can see, if you are different styles, some cultures have different types of things, it will help reduce like student to students indifference and bullying cases, which happens a lot of times. Where in a situation where everybody is equal, everybody is on the same side, on the same team, same uniform, well, it will reduce the chances of such unnecessary bullying from happening. It will not stop completely, but it will reduce significantly.
the study's findings and our additional research, we have a pretty solid baseline to grade what is and isn't above board. And by grade, I mean fill out our report card. Isn't it so fancy? I have props now.
And we'll be focusing only on outfits that we see worn at a school or at a school-sanctioned event.
What you wear outside of school is between you and your parents. I am not gonna play referee for any of that family drama. We'd have to hit like 5 million subscribers for me to do something like that.
And since it is actually...
Ready? You have 2.8 million subscribers. Quite a long way to 5 million.
Back to school season, I want to do a little something special for you style theorists. As we learned in a previous episode, no bag is complete without a nice pair of headphones. And I am lucky enough to be giving away a pair of headphones to 4 lucky winners thanks to our partner for today's episode, Whatnot. Yep, count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tell you how you can win in just a second. Whatnot is a live streaming app where you can buy, sell, or auction literally anything and everything. We all know that online shopping is my superpower, but it has never been easier than this, or more affordable. Whatnot is the place to find great quality items at great prices. Not only can you find things like jewelry, electronics, and exclusive Loungefly bags, but you can find collectibles like Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and Funko Pops. And that is only the tip of that shopping iceberg. No matter what age you are, there's something for everybody. And bonus, you can get them all for up to 50% and even as much as 90% off their regular retail price. There is no better time to make your own Whatnot profile than right now, because not only can you find all of your back-to-school shopping items at an amazing discount, but Whatnot is also giving all of you a free $15 credit off your first purchase anywhere on the app. And all you have to do is scan the QR code on screen now to sign up, or click the link in the description. That's a free $15 on top of all of the amazing discounts just for scanning my QR code and signing up today. I mean, just imagine it. You get a free $15 off an already 50% off Labubu. That's like crazy prices. And it gets even better because everyone who signs up will be eligible to win one of those 4 pairs of headphones that we are giving away to you style theorists. Yep, all you have to do is leave your Whatnot username in the comments and let me know what you plan to buy with your free $15. And as a special gift to all of you who are paying close attention, if you spend some or all of your $15 credit, you will also receive 1 extra bonus entry into the giveaway. Yeah, 2 entries just for signing up and shopping with your free $15. Thanks, Whatnot. That's pretty cool of you. The giveaway will run for 1 month, and then we will DM the winners on Whatnot to collect their prize. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, follow our official profile Style Theorist, and get ready to go back to school in style.
Make your calls in the comments now about which ones you think are going to pass our dress code test and which ones are going to get sent home to change.
Alright, so thank you so much for supporting the Style Theorist in this episode. Let's continue.
Ugh, just saying that brought back all sorts of trauma. Ugh. You know the phrase, go big or go home? Well, we're gonna start with the one that I'm betting all of us are thinking is gonna be the biggest offender on our list, Euphoria. I mean, mean, I can't call them out in the intro like that and not do them first. And remember, we are only grading outfits worn at school, so anything that the characters wear in their free time is not up for debate. However, even those on-campus looks are pushing the limits of our dress code, or just ignoring it completely. Let's start with Cassie Howard, played by the totally controversy-free Sydney Sweeney. Why would you do that? Nope, 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 nope. We are moving on.
Cassie's
Moving on.
school outfits can be boiled down into two categories: a statement top paired with a matching bottom, or a very feminine dress, typically in a mini or...
No, it's pretty much just minis. And that will be Euphoria's very first violation.
In most schools, skirts and dresses follow one of two restrictions. The first option is that the hem of your outfit must reach the tips of your fingers when your arms are laying flat at your sides.
Which is kind of hard for us to measure and biased against those of us with long arms. No thank you. So we will be using the second method.
Which is, skirts and shorts may not end higher than 2 inches above the knee.
Yeah, no. None of those are going to pass. And that's before talking about the, gap. No, not the store.
According to the GAO survey, over 2/3 of all school dress codes have language that specifically outlaws any clothes that show off the midriff, stomach, or abdomen. And then you have 1/4 of school dress codes that also call out how much of your chest can be exposed.
So in my high school, we had a rule where if you could fit your whole hand above your neckline but below your collarbone, you were in big trouble. Maybe that's why I wear so many high neck shirts now.
So many rules and regulations. A simple but easy to fix item is standardize. All the girls wear the female school uniform, all the boys wear the male school uniform. Easy fix, instead of having to wiggle your way around through so much rules and regulations. It's
It's the trauma.
I think it's called what? Occam's razor. And having a standardized school uniform helps with a lot of things. Just help with a lot of things. The students have to spend less time thinking, what should I wear to impress her, him? What should I wear to avoid getting attention to me? You know, if everybody is standardizing the same uniform, spend more time on studies and spend less time on dress up.
And since those violations apply to pretty much all of Cassie's
Not just time lah. Spend less time and spend less mental bandwidth on unnecessary clothing stuff. Especially when you're a kid, especially when you're students in school, you are there to learn.
outfits, and those of fellow student Maddie Perez, played by Alexa Deming. That's another 2 violations. As for Nate and Chris, they passed the test. Though I am very specifically talking about the dress code test because all of the guys of the show just kind of suck. Just like dress codes. Huh. Yeah, if you're paying even the slightest bit of attention, you'll notice a pretty big difference between the first set of characters we talked about and this set of characters that we're talking about. You get one guess.
90% of school dress codes include language and restrictions that specifically target clothing typically worn by girls, while only 69% have rules for clothing typically worn by boys.
Yeah, not nice. And this is why Rue, played by Zendaya, is the one girl to 100% pass our test.
Rue tends to sport a more stereotypically masculine style, leaning into things like oversized tees, often layered with a casual button-up or her classic maroon hoodie.
Tallying up all of our violations, Euphoria will be ending this round with a very generous D-, which, you know, for a show that's rated TV
D- is generous? How bad is it actually? If it's not generous, what is it actually?
MA and airs on HBO Max is surprisingly good. Okay, be honest, how many of you predicted that they'd get an F in your predictions? And don't try to cheat because I will know. Those
So comment down below. Thank you so much.
comments say edited. So congrats, ladies. You can avoid the tension, but only if you dress like Billie Eilish, which, let me be clear, is a perfectly legitimate style that is very fashion forward. But when it comes to personal expression, being limited to one lane can make you feel trapped. And that's no good for your personal development. Though maybe if we turn our attention to a more family
If that's the case, you shouldn't be... No. Wait, let me go back a while first.
friendly, let me be clear, is a perfectly legitimate style that is very fashion forward. But when it comes to personal expression, being limited to one lane can make you feel trapped. And that's no good for your personal development.
But it's a double-edged sword. It's a very sharp double-edged sword. In schools, you are there to learn. Granted, if it's outside school events, outside school activities, maybe some other shirts, other outfits is acceptable, maybe. But in schools, you are not just there for yourself. You are there for your peers, for your classmates, for your schoolmates. Right? So how would they think about you? How would you think about them? Vice versa. It works. It's a two-way street.
So maybe if we turn our attention to a more
In the situation where everybody is the same, wearing the same school uniforms, this sort of unnecessary two-way street is just avoided altogether. Okay, granted, you can still style your hair. Granted, you can still have different shoes, I guess, shoes or like watches, bracelets, so on and so forth. But the overall general is the same color, same uniform, same pants, same skirts, same shorts, so on and so forth.
family-friendly TV show, we can find a way to keep our fashion fire without getting sent to the principal's office.
Victorious, a classic Nickelodeon sitcom about kids attending the world's coolest performing arts school.
I wish I got to go to a performing arts high school. I mean, can you even imagine? It looks like so much fun. They got to go in.
Which fun fact, awkwardly enough, for performance art school graduates have a hard time finding jobs.
Game shows, they got to do one-woman shows, they even got to meet Kesha? What a dream! And what did I get going to school? What, catfish walking across the lawn when it flooded? It's Florida. But how did it do in terms of passing the dress code test? Let's start with Tori, played by Victoria Justice.
Tori's outfits were pretty modern, modeled after popular teen trends of the time, while also leaving room to pay homage to that classic rock star chic, which, given the character's musical aspirations, feels right on point for her personal expression. Tori wore a lot of jeans paired with nice boots. She also wore a lot of casual tees and tops with either a bold pattern or a unique material, and those were usually layered under a cute cropped jacket.
I mean, clearly Tori found the answer to staying true to your personal style while still operating within the rules. Right? Wrong, because Tori, like many girls before her, is a victim of TV BS. TV BS? You mean like television bull? No!
Oh!
S, the visible bra strap.
Oh! Let's keep this wholesome, very friendly. Thank you so much, Amy, from Star Tourist.
Duh. Oh, yeah. That one. I hate that one.
While not wearing the proper undergarments can also result in the violation, having your undergarments visible is just as bad in the eyes of the dress code.
This rule does typically target visible bra straps, just like we saw with
I'm
Tori.
going to share with you the POV of a teenage boy. They'll be attracted. They'll find it charming. They'll find it gorgeous. They'll find it sexual. From the POV of a teenage boys. From a young, that's going through puberty.
But it does also refer
It
to
is seductive if you see a girl showing her bra strap. You know, especially for a teenage boy with raging testosterone. And what happens when their testosterone is not released? You just capture and unfortunately mistake happens. And lifelong mistake happens.
to boxers when your pants are worn just a little bit too low.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Violation. And that's not the worst of it. Even Glinda herself, Ariana Grande as Cat Valentine, and her really cute, quirky style can't pass our dress code test. Like Cassie in Euphoria, Cat's skirts and shorts are just, well, too short. They don't meet that rule that we mentioned earlier of 2 inches. And in addition to the 2-inch rule, a lot of schools also require shorts to have a minimum of a 3.5-inch inseam, which these do not. I know! It's wild to me that even on a kids network like Nickelodeon, these characters just can't pass a real-life dress code. Even my fellow goth girly Jade can't seem to meet these impossible dress code standards. Let's see, she wears skirts that are too short, has a non-ear piercing, and her hair is dyed an unnatural color. Shall I go on? Okay, I get it. Spaghetti straps? Too thin. Bra straps? Visible. Neckline? Too low. Once again, most of these violations are very targeted to a specific group. We hate to see it. But hold up a second, because even though Beck, Andre, Robbie, and even Rex just basically wore a mix of t-shirts, flannels, and jeans.
The double standard exists for a reason. For the benefit of everyone, of collective, for the majority. The double standard exists because it benefits. It has shown time and time again that it benefits the vast majority of individuals. When everybody is wearing the same uniform, we are all on the same team by default. There's a cognitive dissonance in which we're on the same team, we're in the same school, we're in the same class, we all at least share the same similarities. But vice versa, outfits, the thing that we see immediately is different. Oh, you're different from me, I'm going to stay away from you. It's not good. It's not a conducive learning environment for everyone.
Every single day, there was that one time. The taco episode? The taco episode.
In the first episode of season 3, Andre eats some tacos that are, really good. And it causes him to run around the school, pulling off layers of shirts until he's down to his final shirt, which fittingly had text that said final shirt.
And since he is clearly wearing a tank top, that makes him our very first male dress code violation of the episode. Not so fast. Well,
What a coincidence, it's got final shirt.
there are rules about how thick the strap has to be on a tank top, which this passes by the way. They are not banned as a whole. The only shirts that are officially banned are muscle shirts and tube tops, but muscle shirts for guys.
A muscle shirt is a specific kind of tank top, one that is looser and has larger armholes that typically are more revealing than your average tank top.
So what you're telling me is, despite the amount of skin being revealed here and just how deep that neckline of that shirt goes, this is not a dress code violation? It is not in violation of the code for him.
Totaling all of our violations together and grading on the euphoria curve, Victorious gets a solid C for could be better, could be worse.
But I am starting to get really worried that no school on our list is going to be able to match the rigorous standards.
Notice that Amy, in this particular episode, Amy is being very generous and very, generous. Maybe there's a bias, I don't know. If it's me, I would take away the generosity and just be very strict and firm about it. Everybody F plus, or even E minus.
Of a real life dress code. Riverdale, the I'm not like other teen dramas of teen dramas. I'm joking. Mostly.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
But it was undeniably a huge hit and one of the most watched shows ever on the CW network. But popularity won't help you pass the dress code test. Let's start with our leading man, Archie.
If you are a big fan of suede and Sherpa jackets over top Henley shirts and tees, then you are going to love Archie's outfits, because that's basically all he wears outside of the occasional sweater or Letterman jacket.
Which, to be fair, is also true of Archie's original character design. He's kind of mid the man. And it's all very safe, except for these shorts, which in any other context would be a complete dress code violation. But these are school sanctioned. Yes, look a little closer and you'll notice that those are official school sanctioned uniform short shorts, baby. Is it weird that we're talking about them because they're high school students, but they're also like 30 years old? I have no idea. Listen, Riverdale is based on the Archie comics, which started all the way back in 1942. And these shorts, these short shorts are very similar to the basketball shorts that we see roughly from the 1940s to roughly the 1960s.
Before the modern basketball shorts we have today came into style, they had a number of previous iterations, from ones that more resemble today's football uniform bottoms to these ultra short shorts that typically had a 3-inch inseam.
Which, based on all the other rules that we've covered so far, is not in violation of the dress code. So, fair or not, it passes. Then you have the man, the meme, the Jughead. Now his wardrobe is pretty similar to Archie's, albeit with a couple more turtlenecks thrown in, but there is one other big defining feature of his so-called weirdo look.
Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
While the whoopee cap, yes, that thing is called a whoopee cap, that is the actual name. While the whoopee cap is a callback to his original comic book character design, it is also a very, very big dress code violation.
Roughly 80% of schools in the US ban any and all kinds of head coverings, including hats, whoopee or otherwise.
Violation. And then you have his Southside serpent
To be
jacket.
fair, from what I know, in some cases you can appeal. You of course you need to like a lot of paperwork lah. Some paperwork here and there is like, oh, give me legitimate reasons as to why you have to wear it on a day-to-day basis, okay, or why you have to wear it for this particular event or these particular things. You as a student, and if you were to violate, if you were to violate your own reasoning, then it'll be punishment for you. You said you need to wear this headdress, and we allowed you to wear this headdress, and then it's not strictly enforced by you. It's this double standards that you enforce upon yourself goes against what you mentioned and thus punishment for you. Either you wear it or you don't wear it.
Say that 5 times fast. I can't.
In the Archie universe, the Southside Serpents are considered a gang, and most schools prohibit wearing anything that glorifies violence, drug use, or gang-related activities.
As for our leading ladies, Betty and Veronica, they do a surprisingly good job sticking to the dress code, all things considered.
This is likely due to that 40s and 50s fashion influence, which was a more conservative time in fashion. Betty follows a pretty preppy style that typically includes a cute sweater, usually paired with a collared neckline and a nice skirt.
Though it does toe the line a few times during the show.
As for Veronica, she also follows a generally preppy style, though it does tend to lean a little bit more Kennedy than country club like Betty.
And just like Archie, Betty and Veronica's gym outfits would be a total dress code violation if they weren't a school-mandated uniform. Gym clothes often fall into this weird middle space between are they or aren't they part of the dress code, and in this case they are all school uniforms, and so it really doesn't count towards the dress code violations, even if it feels like they should be. But for our test today, it will not count as a violation, and that means that Riverdale is getting our best score of the episode so far. A B+.
While that is a passing grade, it doesn't meet our style theory straight A standard. I mean, can anything get an A, or are the standards of our everyday school dress codes just set way too high?
When it comes to taking the crown for the most fashionable teens to ever grace a screen, that award has to go to the 1995 classic, Clueless. I love it. Listen, I would commit literal crimes to have Cher Horowitz's closet set up. Look at it. Look at it. If you haven't seen the movie, first off,
Please don't. Please don't.
how dare you? It is pure cinema. And second of all, you should, because they just announced a sequel series going into production, and you are already behind.
Listen, while the movie is teen comedy meets rom-com perfection, what really makes it stand out from the rest is the fashion itself.
Y'all know the drill by now. Let's kick things off with Cher, played by Alicia Silverstone. Now, throughout the runtime of the entire movie, she wears 48 different outfits through this one movie. That's like a new outfit every 2 minutes. That feels like some kind of world record or something. Did we just discover a world record? I I love that for us. Now, only 16 of those 48 outfits are actually worn at school.
From a school dress code perspective, Cher seems to have a number of looks that could get an easy pass. I mean, even her gym outfit appears to follow the dress code.
Unfortunately for Cher, and all of us fashion lovers, the violations are in the details.
Many of her skirts do not pass the 2-inch maximum. The multiple hats, well, we already know that those are not allowed on campus. And
Unless, from what I know, unless you actually appeal for it, you know. Of course, you need to appeal prior to it.
the kicker are the straps. I mean, you might as well rename her Betty Spaghetti for how spaghetti thin all those straps really are.
It shows more skin. It shows a lot of skin in inappropriate places.
Listen, the fashion police may not be calling, but the dress code enforcement definitely is. Cher's number one bestie, Dion, also breaks all of these rules, as well as a couple more. Ones like showing off her midriff and exposing her underwear by wearing a sports bra as a shirt. Yeah, athleisure as acceptable.
You don't do this in school. Outside school, I don't know. In school, no.
Everyday wear wasn't really a thing yet. Thanks, COVID. You're a real one for that. And then there's the guys.
First, we have Travis, who really leans into that skater boy look. While in the movie, he's technically the heir to the Birkenstock fortune,
Which is an open-toed shoe, and that is against many dress codes.
never actually wears them in the movie, and so gets off violation-free. As for Dion's boyfriend Murray and his BFF Sean, they are not as lucky. Not only do they wear multiple hats on multiple occasions, which we know is against the rules, their pants are a big problem.
Murray's pants are so loose. How loose are they? Murray's pants are so loose that he is constantly holding them up with his actual hands throughout multiple points in this movie. And even so, we are getting an eye full of boxers constantly at any given moment. Violation. And don't think I forgot Josh, played by the very baby-faced Paul Rudd. Fun fact, this is Paul Rudd's very first acting credit. The fact is that—
Wow! How times have passed. Guess Paul Rudd found the age.
Josh is a college student in the movie, and he doesn't have to follow a high school dress code. Even though if he did, I think he'd be safe.
In total, Clueless gets a solid B-.
Which means that we still don't have a show that can live up to the actual standards that we, the viewers, are expected to live by. Whether new or old, our biggest fashion inspirations are nothing more than bad influences. At least as far as the dress code is concerned.
In fact, it feels like these shows and movies are getting even more fun and fancy-free with what qualifies as high school fashion as the years go on. But is that true? Well, we can find out thanks to our final head-to-head test.
Whether you're Regina George's Rachel McAdams or Renee Rapp, Mean Girls is arguably the most relatable high school movie to ever be made. But can its fashion prove to pass our dress code?
We are pitting the original 2004 classic against the 2024 musical remake to see how just 10 years can change our idea of realistic high school fashion. And maybe, just maybe, one of them can finally give us that elusive A.
Starting with love interest Aaron Samuels. Now, Aaron is meant to be the generic hot guy of the movie, and that's kind of what his wardrobe is, generic. Boring hoodies, flannels, jeans, t-shirts. I mean, it's so dull. At least the boys in Clueless and Riverdale had some personality. These guys just don't. I mean, violations or not, Aaron Samuels is just like blander than white bread in both movies. The other notable man to mention, Damien.
While the 2004 version of Damien does have more of those same basic boy fits, he does break them up with some button-downs that add a little bit more variety to the mix.
I mean, his hoodie with sunglasses look, it's kind of iconic.
But it's the 2024 version of Damien that really shines, playing with color and patterns in both his sweaters and quarter zips.
And he even nails the meme look. No violations, but maybe get some different inspiration for your incognito mode next time. Let's move on to the girls of Mean Girls and start with protagonist Katie.
Before she arrived at North Shore High, Katie was homeschooled, which would give some leeway for learning the do's and don'ts of a new school dress code. But in both movies, Katie starts off wearing pretty conservative outfits. Jeans and a t-shirt layered under a canvas jacket or a flannel button-down were pretty much her go-to looks.
But of course, all that just gets tossed out with the garbage once she joins the plastics.
Gone were the t-shirts and flannel, and in came the ribbed Henley tops, the short skirts, and the deep necklines.
Yeah, all of those are dress code violations. When it comes to the looks that the plastics themselves wear, both Karen and Gretchen follow the same pattern as post-plastics Katie. Which of course means even more dress code violations. Whee! But I want to take a look at what—
some points from the POV of a teenage boy. I'm going to share with you what I feel like about it. It feels like this good girl that everybody looks forward to as a friend. This classmate, this female classmate that we can interact with, hey, chat around with, suddenly become distant. Suddenly become like, what happened to her? She wanted to be cool among the cool girls, but in return, she have lost the relatability. She have lost the relatability that she once had. It happened so many times, so many times.
I consider one of the most iconic characters to walk this earth, Regina George. This is where the fashion of the two different Mean Girls movies really diverges.
The original 2004 version of Regina George dominated the screens with her trendy, flirty vibe. Her looks consisted mainly of tank tops paired with skirts of varying lengths.
Though sometimes she would go wild and add a sweater. Meanwhile, the 2024 version takes all of those skirts and trades them out for something even wilder: pants. I know! Can you believe it?
Regina's whole wardrobe switches from that very feminine, rich, popular girl look to a more too cool for school, laid-back kind of style, especially her black leather outfit.
Even so, this version is still breaking a truckload of dress code rules. The short skirts, the revealing tops, the bra straps. Heck, 2004 Regina even walks around the school with her bra just hanging out when they cut those holes in her tank top. It might be iconic, but it's also against the dress code. And that's not even talking about the Santa Claus outfit. None of this is going—
the Santa Claus outfit is way too seductive for a school. For a school setting, in primary school, in secondary school, even in junior college. Maybe if it's in polytechnic or if it's in university, it's a different case. But if it's in primary school, secondary school, or junior college, or even high school in Singapore, it's a no-go. It's an absolute no-go. Way too much cleavage, way too much neckline, way too much waist, way too much skin below the skirts, way too much unnecessary skin. It will cause distractions to kids, to the teenage boys around, and also the teenage girls in comparison.
to get us that final A that I wanted so badly.
Yeah, I think this entire episode just reinforced the importance of having standardized school uniforms. You know, instead of for the freedom, for the liberty to express yourself. Yes, that's important. But because of one thing, you have to create so many wiggle rules around loopholes, rules and regulations. Why not just cancel this entirely out and just standardize, hey, majority of us will be wearing school uniforms. You can have your bracelets here and there, you can have your watch, you can have your necklace here and there. Your religious necklace here and there, you can have your headgear here and there, but appeal first. Okay? You can wear like unique watches or something like that, but as a whole, the majority of outfits on your body should be the same, standardized throughout. Okay? Instead of creating so many wiggle rooms, rules and regulations, this all in the name of freedom at the expense of potentially, and a lot of times, unfortunate distancing and bullying. You know, this guy wear different clothes than us. Stay from him.
Best, both Mean Girls just get a B-. And if I'm being honest, I don't think there's a movie or show out there that will actually get us that elusive A. Listen,
In USA, in Singapore, there's a lot.
the idea behind behind having a dress code is to create a safe space for kids to learn. And in theory, that is a
Focus on them learning, for the students to learn.
good idea. The problem is that a lot of these rules just take it to a huge extreme in order to be enforceable. So instead of creating a safe space for kids to learn and express themselves, they actually make them claustrophobic, where kids feel targeted and humiliated as grown adults look way too closely at what they're wearing.
Exactly. And they will spend so much time, so much unnecessary mental bandwidth. Instead of spending those mental bandwidth on studying, improving their marks, improving their educations, they'll be spending their mental bandwidth on fashions, things that is not related to their academic interests, which thus making them fail a lot in grades or perform poorly in those different grades.
Where movies and TV have the freedom to express characters' personalities through what they wear, real-life kids don't. The reason we turn to media as fashion inspiration, especially as kids, is to help us figure out what we do and don't like. Yes, TVs and movies have a history of over-sexualizing young underage characters. I'm not even gonna argue that they don't. And this can really influence kids to feel like they need to dress older in order to feel more in control of their lives, and set unrealistic beauty standards that are impossible to live up to, which is a whole other issue. But when you look at the bigger picture, the fault doesn't really fall with the media for poorly portraying a realistic high school life. I mean, casting 30-year-olds as high school students already did that. Instead, it falls on how little room kids actually have to explore their personal style in a safe space.
You can do that outside of school. You can do that not just with outfits, but with the way that you talk, your demeanor, your aura, your personality, not just by superficial stuff that you're wearing, but also by the way that you portray yourself, you interact yourself. This sort of character growth is not just I got better because I changed clothes. It's because I got better because I learned new skills.
Not saying go ditch dress codes completely. I think that's how things like Euphoria happen. But I do think that we need to re-examine what rules are really helping students and which ones are only hurting them.
But hey, that's just a theory. A style theory. Class dismissed. Oh, and remember that thanks to our sponsor Whatnot, you have a free $15 to spend anywhere on their app. And that doing so gets you an extra entry into our giveaway. So sign up, leave your Whatnot username in the comments, and let me know what you get. What can I say? I'm nosy. Next time on Style Theory.
Do movie makeovers actually make you more beautiful? Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory, where today we're making a little bit of movie magic of our very own.
Thank you so much. Hope you learned something new. Thank you so much to the team behind these videos. And yeah, but hey, that's just theory. A style theory. Class dismissed. But hey, that's just theory. A style theory. Keep looking sharp. Right. Thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much.